All right, so when you start getting two groups like this, first of all, I make sure you identify here A is 0, so it's A naught. Here A is 1, so it's an A. Here B is 0, so B naught. And here it's B. Okay. So we'll look at this group first. This group here, it encompasses only one row. If it's one row, you're basically looking at this guy here. Nothing cancels. It's an A. But every group, you have to look at the row and then the column. So again, this group here, it's part of this column and this column. And between this column and that column, the value of B changes, so it's canceled. So this group here, again, this group here, I'm looking at just A. Now pay attention, please, pay attention. There's a second part to this, because now I've got to look at this group.
B.
Okay, so I'm just going to backspace a little bit and get rid of some of this, these circles. Okay, so I'm left with A. Now I've got to look at this guy. Now I have a group that's a vertical group. This vertical group, how many rows does it take up? Well, it takes up this row and it takes up this row. So if it takes up this row and this row, does the value of A change from here to here? Here it was 0, here it's 1. It changes, okay? Yes. So then I have to look at vertical. I'm looking at vertical like this. I'm not using up two columns, just one column. So if it's just one column, the value of B doesn't change. It's just a B. Yes. But it's a different group, so I'm gonna plus
B.
Yes. So whatever is in blue, that group is B.
Can you explain one more time how to get the plus?
Every group, within a group, you're going to multiply. If you have one group and then another group, you have to OR it or plus it together or add it together.
Okay, if it's a different group, you add.
If you would have three circles, it would be one circle plus the next circle plus the next circle. Okay, so within a group, now these cases here, you only have 4 squares, so the groups are small, you have one variable, okay? So you'll get a better picture when it starts getting a little bit bigger. Okay? So between groups, you OR. If we're okay with that one, I want to go to F. And whether you've done it or not, I'm going to explain it, okay? And then I'll give you some time to go through and finish off the rest, and then we'll correct it together. Okay, so let's just look at the groups here. I have this group here. If I get started with this group here, can everyone see that color?
No A.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, so I have A naught here, same thing as before. All the lettering is the same. There's only 4 squares. I have my B naught here.
A naught.
And I have my B here. Okay, so this group here is only one row. If it's only one row, I'm only looking at this guy here. What's the value of the A? A naught.
A naught.
And now this group here encompasses both columns. So if it encompasses both columns, I'm looking at the value of B and seeing if it changes. And if it does change, basically it's canceled and I don't add it here. There's no B.
Yeah.
But the next group, so this group here is this A. And now I'm going to solve for the next group.
This group is...
Okay, this group here. I'm looking at 2 rows, this row and this row. Between that row and that row, A changes from a 0 to a 1. So there is no A in this answer. But I also have to look at the vertical or the columns. How many columns is this orange group taking? Only 1.
Only B.
The B. So the answer for the whole thing, the whole Karnaugh, is A naught plus B.